Hey guys, how's it going? Octopus here, welcome back to Union Cross. Sorry about not uploading the past 2 days. Tuesday was my dad's birthday, if you guys aren't aware, and Wednesday, a lot of stuff happened that I'd rather not put in this video because it would just be way too long. But it is Thursday, and if you guys missed your daily missions yesterday because of maintenance, you're not alone. So did I. So rip those whatever jewels that I didn't get there. I think I only completed 5 out of the 10, which is not too bad, but it still sucks. So what did maintenance do? Honestly, they didn't announce it anywhere. I checked Twitter, I checked here, but the JP side, thanks to Robloid, who translated it, because they got their maintenance first, I'm going to go over everything that we got that's not really public right now. And also, 3,000 jewels. We got 3,000 free jewels, which they did put that notice in, so I'm kind of happy they put that one in. This is interesting. We're going to start off with that. If you can see on the bottom of my screen right here, I put the banner down there that they did the mistake on, and they have the notice right here. So, Riku, they basically screwed up on Riku. So, there's the maintenance that they said last night, and here's what they gave us this morning. So, we determined that the notice for the 7-star Kingdom Hearts 3 Riku EX Plus deal did not sufficiently describe the way the deal functioned. So, to break this down without reading the whole thing, so basically what they failed to tell people was that in the notice that a tier 5 7-star was guaranteed every pull. But if you pulled the Riku medal, EX Plus, that Riku medal would replace the tier 5 7-star. So you would not get the tier 5 7-star, you'd only get the Riku. But the notice did not state that, did not say that Riku would take over the spot of the tier 5 7-star. So they did a correction as an apology for the insufficient information and for the long amount of time it took to address this issue to our players. We will be sending 3,000 jewels. So for the issue and for the amount of time it took to fix this, 3,000 jewels for everyone. So instead of just the people who had the medal in their inventory, they went with, you know what, it's a big screw up. The notice was there for mistake for everyone. Here's 3,000 jewels, and it took so long. So 3,000 jewels, not complaining. That adds up to my total of 70,000, which once I get those 3,000 jewels will be 73. We also got 300 jewels for the maintenance and my daily login, so it's another 400 there. And also, I haven't done the Kingdom Classic games yet, so I still have another 3,000 on this account to collect. So once that's all done, I'm going to be very close to 80,000. And why is this so important? Tomorrow, Sephiroth is coming out. And Cloud. First, huge Cloud fanboy. Sephiroth, huge Sephiroth fanboy. So 2 medals in 1 banner. One's probably not going to be a Mercy. Cloud should be a Mercy, but we'll see how it turns out. I'm definitely pulling that banner. I'm not saying I'm spending all 80,000. Just today's Thursday. We should be getting a notice tonight. Since we have all the stained glass medals that are out already, Sephiroth and Cloud should be the next ones in, and they've got a supernova ability, just a Sephiroth, that is very, very important if you want to compete in PvP for the next week or 2 or more until they unleash more medals with supernova. So we'll see how that turns out, but yes, it is Thursday. Expect a big update tomorrow, especially after the big maintenance that we just got, and let's actually cover that maintenance. So starting off with you know how you want to go to the Classic Kingdom, like I was just talking about, to play those games or the chat rooms, you'd have to go into others under menu and click on this, and this will bring you to the title screen, and on the title screen you have to touch that button. Now you touch this button and boom, you're in here. You want to go back home, boom, you're back into the home page. So it's fluid. It's not go to title screen, click on this. It was really annoying. A lot of people didn't show up there because of that, or just, you know, don't have good internet, so that would lag. But here you go, seamlessly we are in here without an issue. And if you can hear, the menu had the background still. So you can see I played a little bit, but I haven't really played my free-to-play account. I finished it fully, finally, but main account, no. So it's good and bad. It means I have to do the games all over again, but I do have 3,000 jewels coming my way. So that is some easy access towards the new X3. I'm just going to call it X3 that they added. Another thing they added that they didn't talk about, you see how when you look at a medal, all that text starts scrolling? If you touch on the text, you can stop it. It works for everything that has scrolling text because it's so big, so you can actually see what you're reading now, because sometimes there's so much in one medal that it just goes by so fast and you're like, what does that do? Up, right, down, 5 times 7? Okay, I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna throw a little Easter egg in here for you guys as well. Not an Easter egg, but a little detail. You see how this says deals 3 hits, 1 turn, and it shows the arrow pointing down? That means that it just lowers the enemy's defense or raises your attack. But when you go for a medal that has overwrite, this is how you tell the difference from an overwrite medal. For 1 turn, 7 strength, upright, it doesn't have an up-down arrow. There's no arrow in this text. So when a medal has no arrow in its text, it means it's an overwrite ability. I know it's very vague. They should just write overwrite, but to reduce the text, they just didn't add the arrow. They didn't really tell us. You kind of just figured it out. So if it has an arrow and an enemy has, let's say, +2 upright defense, when you use Cloud here, it's going to go to 0. Where if you use the one with overwrite, whatever it says on here will be applied no matter how many buffs or debuffs an enemy has. So a little bit of an Easter egg thrown in there for you guys. All right, so next up we have Jules purchases now give skip tickets 2. And I guess this is good and also bad because skip ticket 2 allows you to pass a quest and fully skip it without any of the orbs being completed. So an example of that would be if you go into a quest, you know the 3 Mickey heads. If the Mickey heads are all black, you can't go to the next quest. So if I want to advance in proud mode and I'm stuck on something, let's go to proud mode real quick. So let's say I couldn't beat this quest. I can actually click on this quest, click begin, and over here with the arrow, I have normal skip tickets and skip tickets 2. So I have 19 skip tickets that allow me to skip the quest fully like I completed it, but it will not fill up these Mickey heads. Where the yellow skip tickets just allow you to complete the quest if you already have all 3 orbs filled. So it's really good for raiding if you want to kill the egg just by clicking on that ticket and boom, the boss is filled. So you don't have to go into the mission, defeat the egg, go through all that animation. It skips all of that. Where skip ticket 2 allows you to beat a quest that you've never completed before. So it's good that that's there. The skip tickets 2. So an upgrade to people who pay for the game, which is nice. Free-to-play players, we might see more skip tickets 2 somewhere. I doubt it, honestly. Just a little something in there. So another thing they added was when you defeat a target enemy during a time event, the timer wouldn't stop until it said quest completed after you kill the enemy and all the animation went through. So right now the timer's still going, but as soon as we kill these target enemy, which is the eggs here, the timer stopped right away. So this is another addition they added. Basically, I honestly think they could have added like 3 or 4 seconds to every mini game that they had to try to substitute for that. But I don't know if this is going to help anyone that has phones that lag, tablets that lag, that have issues with these time events, because I think they're going to adjust the timer to the time the target dies and not those 3 extra seconds that it would take after the target. So it's great to see. I think it's mostly added because it was just annoying that you kill the target and you had to wait for quest complete and all that. Now when you nail that target, your timer stops, quest complete. We'll see how it turns out in the end. They still need this to be challenging and not like so forgiving, but at the same time they got to consider there's a lot of people with just not up-to-date tablets or phones that lag very hard. So they also got to give that chance to the community, because there is a lot of players and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who are not completing time events because of that issue. But I like this addition. This addition is actually pretty cool. So that is pretty much everything that's hidden in the maintenance, at least I think so. They did say here, Robloid said that there's a couple bug fixes, like fix some symbols that not appearing correctly in X3, fix the bug where restoring resources crashed your game, and they also fixed the bug where the players' names weren't appearing under their avatars in party chats. So that might apply to global, or it might have just been JP issues. I'm not sure. Just want to throw that in there just in case you guys were affected by that. You shouldn't be anymore. And the final thing I want to add here, I'm going to look for the clip real quick. Here we go. Here's the image, guys. This is basically in the JP side. We might see this, we might not. JP's got a banner like this before, and we didn't really get the same exact banner. We end up getting our own copycat banner, but again, it's very spaced out when we get these copycat banners. But I want to really put a big stress on this, because recently with Demix, Sephiroth, the organization members, a lot of you guys have been complaining about not being able to pass events because -60 ground has been very, very needed these days compared to the past, where it was mostly important in Coliseum. Now it's very aware that there is a power creep happening, and right now the only way to beat these power creeps is with -60 until they start raising the buff cap or bringing stronger medals in, or your sub slots starting to even out, because people were able to pass the Sephiroth quest, the Demix quest, organizational quest with high sub slots and plus 1000 traits. They didn't really need -60, they just needed a lot of strength increase to negate that high defense. So if if this continues, and no matter what, it will continue in some shape or form, even if it's just one quest a month. If you guys don't want to run to this issue and you're someone who wants to continue chasing traits for those -60s, for those extra attacks, know that copycat medals last forever. And in my opinion, if you have a bunch of jewels saved up, and you go for this banner, and let's say I spend all 80,000 jewels here to grab all these medals or whatever medals I can and get -60 attack on them, get -60 ground, sorry, extra attack, -60 ground, -60 aerial on these copycat medals, they will carry you. You'll never have to get a new medal. Like if you play the high score challenge and you get, let's say, Bob and Jack, and he doesn't have -60 ground or -60 aerial, because your copycat medal will copy him and they have -60 ground or aerial, they will do a ton of damage. So even though he's not going to do great damage, they will pick up all the slack. So yes, it's better to have those powerful medals with their own -60 traits, but not everyone's lucky, especially when you only have 2 or 3 rerolls, or you don't have enough jewels to mercy pull some new medal and your luck wasn't that good. If your copycat medals are broken, you will always be broken. People still use those tier 5 key art beginnings, bonds, and skies that nominate. I use that nominate. I use that nominate that's down there along with the key art, I believe it is beginnings, right beside nominate. So the bottom right, those 2 medals are tier 5s. They're not the weakest out of the copycat medals, but they're tier 5s. And I used them to complete the Sephiroth quest because they had +1000 and -60 ground, copying one medal that had a lot of power. I believe it was my invisible. So I had it on the stroke of midnight. So copying medals have a huge amount of value and they last forever. I mean, like pretty much at this point, the only copycat medal I don't use is Beagle Boys and Pete there because I don't have them. If I did have them, if they had good traits, I'd be using tier 3s as well. Although tier 3s is really dropping low, the multiplier will really drop. But the point is, a copy medal with the right traits, it doesn't matter what tier they are, as long as they copy a good 7-star medal, they're going to do a ton of damage. So if you wanted to, I'm just giving you guys an option here, I'm not saying this is what you should do, but if you wanted to really dedicate some time on copy medals, I think this is the way to go. Just pull like crazy. My recommendation is always pull for when the Phantom was mercied and when the Dusk was mercied, because that gave you trait medals every pull, and you're guaranteed that specific one, where you have this giant pool here, so you might only see the Beagle Boys, and know their copy medal. You might have some terrible luck like that, so keep that in mind, that you might pull 20 times out of here and you'll never see a Riku, a Dusk, or a Phantom, so you might never get the best copycat medals. But if you want to roll a couple times until one of your copy medals do get -60 ground or aerial, or if you really have some dedicated jewels, copy medals last forever. They just have high value. If you're new to the game, I would definitely go for this kind of banner if it does show up, because you do want copycat medals of every kind, even if they don't have traits. Having a copy medal that's gilted, even at 7 stars and not 7 stars, it's going to help in a lot of setups that you couldn't do something before, because you only had one good medal for that trait, for that Keyblade slot, but you didn't have an upright magic. Boom, you got nominated, now you're copying whatever's in your reverse speed slot, and you're laughing. And that really helps when you guys have Kairi or Shion as your buffers, because you got to make a Keyblade that has multicolors, upright and reverse, into just a reverse Keyblade. Copy medals fix that. So that's really good. I hope we get our own version of that. Maybe sometime in the future, copy medals will start coming out at 7 stars, but don't forget, you can fuse your 6-star copy medal into your 7-star to reroll traits. You don't have to make it 7 stars to reroll traits. 1 star can go into a 7-star for trait rerolls. Just a little heads up there, guys. It doesn't have to be a 7-star into a 7-star. That only counts for guilting, not for trading. So that is pretty much everything that's been happening in the game right now. Let me just close these 2 up so I don't forget later. Yeah, that's it, guys. That's it. That's 3,000 jewels. We've got the maintenance that didn't really explain what's going on. Sephiroth and Cloud should be tomorrow. If not, I'm very curious what they're going to release. That copycat banner I don't think we'll be seeing for maybe ever or a little while, because JP just got that today. And knowing that they just got that today, and we're behind a couple of banners already, because Sephiroth we haven't seen Cloud, we haven't seen the VIP for Vanitas, B, all that. So honestly, when I cover JP, guys, just like the past, I've been doing over the 2 years, I've been covering JP, we're just assuming that we're going to get that medal. Doesn't mean we're going to get it. We've missed a lot of medals, and we might continue missing a lot of medals. It depends if they think like, oh, this was a good banner, let's bring it to global, it will also profit from it there, stuff like that. Or they think it's a new mechanic they want to add. So I think Supernova is very important, and it would be weird to not get Supernova because it is a new mechanic. But again, just take this with a little grain of salt that we might not get it. That is pretty much everything, guys. If you want to add anything down below, if I missed anything, if I screwed up anything, let us know down below. I'll heart your comment to make sure everyone sees it, or I'll pin it if it's very, very important. But that's pretty much everything. So if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the like button. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Keep on smiling, and I'll see you in the next one.